If you've ever visited our library, you might have once looked out the window and seen a little bit of a scuffle happening on the sidewalk. This is what happens when mom or dad are trying to bring a very reluctant reader into the door. Well, you know what? Sometimes I have to say to that young person, I understand why you don't want to read. It actually makes sense. When I think about what this culture, in my opinion, has given you to read, the superficiality of it, the pieceiness of it, the sterility of it, how it's deprived of the deepest, majestic symphonic wholes that are reflective of our Creator, I kind of understand why you wouldn't really be engaged. The fact is, you are so much more than a brain, as great as your brain is. You are absolutely a heart and a soul that is craving heroism, that is craving courage and self-sacrifice and truth in all sorts of areas. So one of the best ways to help a reluctant reader is to actually finally connect them to something of transcendent value and import and character. Jesus said, don't prevent the little kids from coming to me. Why were they coming? Because they wanted to know what was real and what was important and what was true. So we go to a lot of effort here to have books that actually call out to the heart, especially of boys that need to feed deeply, deeply, deeply on courage and self-sacrifice. I say that as a mom of 3 boys, so that's my experience anyway. So let's take an example. This would be a typical modern book today about ancient Rome, but if we open it up, what are we going to see? We're going to still see little factoidy bits like we've talked about earlier. We're going to see that each 2-page spread is completely separate. There's no flow. But look, for example, what they're emphasizing here. This is how the Romans scraped off their dead skin cells. Could anything literally be less important than that? I mean, when we talk about skin deep interest or skin deep, value, this is literally it right here. This is not what anybody's child really wants to know. What they want to know is, if I'm going to study ancient Rome, what can I draw out of it that is going to impact my life now, my culture now, my nation now? What's going to give great purpose to the effort that I'm putting into learning? So let me show you how this was handled in an earlier book, and it took me 22 years of doing this before I found my first copy. When we open this book up, we see the famous twins, Romulus and Remus, Romulus from whence Rome gets its name, and their lives were being saved according to legend by a wolf. But now the book starts in earnest. The boys grow up. The boys found a city. And by the 3rd set of pages, which are connected, by the way, we see that kings have developed because there was a community. And by the 7th king, Tarquin the Proud, that name says about all you need to know, he was so repressive and so dominating that the people of that time realized that they had to come up with a way to limit the tendency of humans to dominate other humans. And therefore, they realized that they needed to establish a republic. A republic is a natural limit on governmental power. And so we are literally on the 3rd spread of this living book. That's what these are called, living books. And we've already learned the ultimate lesson there is to know in Roman history, and that is you better get yourself a republic and you better keep it or you will be miserable. This speaks, again, as a mother of 3 sons and 7 grandsons, this speaks to the heart of a guy, for example. They want to know how to build nations. They want to know how to protect the people from wrongdoing. And so this is the type of thing that they feed on deeply. Will they still get to see the pottery and the clothing and the farm implements, all the other things that were emphasized here? Yes, but it will come inside of the deeper context. Again, I'm going to talk about boys. What guys want to know is what is powerful and what is true and what is meaningful. You light a fire deep inside of them. So give them something worthy of reading, even if you have to make a special trip here to find the way that the older books used to emphasize these high quality and high value content elements. And you will see that there begins to be great purpose in their reading.